Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Steve with Sensus Fidelium coming at you at 9:40 p.m., 9:41, if you're being as precise as humanly possible. It just changed on the October 21st, 2025. And if you're not familiar, it is the feast of a newly ordained saint, Blessed Karl. Well, is this did he get canonized totally? I think he's still Blessed Karl. I think they're waiting to canonize both him and Zita. I think according to Charles Coulomb, but yes, it's Karl Austria's feast day, as well as a few others. Saint Hilarion is another one. Saint Ursula and companions is another. So just if you're scoring at home, hopefully you are keeping tabs on that. Let's get right to it. The 70,000. Sorry for a little tardiness today. I don't know what happened. Anyway, 70,000 Discord users had their ID photos exposed. Here's what went wrong. A hacker group calling itself Scattered Lapsus with a $sign, kind of like Deion Sanders, Hunters, SLH, has claimed responsibility for breaching Discord's customer support systems. The attackers provided screenshots that allegedly showed internal support tools as proof, and even threatened to release millions and millions of files, including government ID images, unless Discord pays a ransom. Discord had confirmed the incident, but said it third-party customer service provider, not its internal infrastructure. The company says that only users who interacted with its customer support or trust and safety teams were affected by the data breach. Key takeaway, even if your main account is secure, information shared during support interactions can still become exposed through external vendors. So have you gotten a phone call from your best friend, probably spam? I mean, everyone's got that friend, probably spam. That's called. The reason why you're getting those calls is because all these groups have gotten hacked, or their data leaks has been all over the place. So everyone's got your number, and they're going to call you for the rest of the time. I've had people call me about vacation trips. They're like, sir, are you going on vacation? No, not going anywhere. I don't leave the house. Someone asked me the other day if I want to sell my property. I go, I need property first to be able to sell it. So if you want to give me some, I'm happy to oblige and sell it back to you. They hung up the phone. I don't understand why they didn't want to stop and talk on that one for that. I was like, hey, we can make something work at least. What else? I forgot to put the clown up on the top right-hand corner. Forgive me. I'm struggling this evening. The PayPal private CBDC equivalent on the way as predicted, says Whitney Webb. I'm sure it's fine. They've never seized people's money for a thought crime before, right? Where's that meme from Star Wars, right? This from 6 days ago. We talked about this. PayPal just minted 300 trillion SPY USD on Ethereum. So what is happening? In case you want the hardcore evidence on that, wowzers for trousers. As Whitney said, the PayPal private CBDC equivalent is on the way, as predicted. Here's once a future king, President DJT, lighting up a diya, whatever, in the Oval Office to celebrate India's Diwali. There's where in politics you sell your soul for whatever people want. It's like we played that video before. The one guy, Mr. Clophosaurus, or whatever his name is, he goes, "I will. What do I believe in? You give me the money, I'll believe anything you tell me to believe." So he lit the candle. And by the way, Israel even had a post yesterday. I forgot to post that yesterday. Israel even did one putting out, hey, celebrate the Diwali Day. I'm like, really? The fake, even though they're atheists, the Zionists are really atheists. They don't care about anything. Trump said to demand Justice Department pay him $230 million for past cases. Senior department officials who were defense lawyers for the president and those in his orbit are now in jobs that typically must approve any such payout, underscoring potential ethical conflicts, which is kind of funny because he wants now $230 in taxpayer money. But the whole ethics thing, you notice before everything got in, or after he got in, nobody did an ethics check. There was none of that. No one did an ethics sign off, any of that stuff. So why do they care about ethics when they don't care about even signing off saying, yeah, we're going to try to at least pretend to do something ethical? No. Or Saudi Crown Prince plans first White House visit since 2018. Mohammed bin Salman is seeking a defense pact, and normalization with Israel and Gaza reconstruction are likely on the agenda because everyone wants to get their paws on the new future UAE, Dubai, in a sense. They're going to make Dubai look like it's a park, with the hood. You get Gaza, Dubai style? Man, yeah, they're going to make that look like it was Compton. TMZ stands by a story after a White House denial that Trump is considering community Diddy's sentence possibly this week. That's right. The White House Communications Office is saying our story is not true. We stand by our story, and our story is accurate. And coming from the group, the White House, that said that there's condoms going to Gaza, which was in Mozambique, Africa, and saying that they were blowing people up with condoms and lying about everything else, I'm going to tend to TMZ might be the more, believable group. Limp Bizkit bassist Sam Rivers dead at 48. They look a lot older than that on stage if you've seen them. Trump already had that. The White House just announced that private equity has been tapped to fund the expansion of the U.S. military. This is alarming. Remember, PE must return profits to investors within a 7 to 10 year horizon. And if the investment is weapons, the only guaranteed outcome is more war. This is Stephen Feld. Let me go ahead and play it. James? Yeah, James usually does pretty good. Let me go ahead and put that on real quick. Sorry, you guys see my ugly mug for approximately 30 seconds or less.
Probably know who this guy is. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, now the Secretary of War. But he's not really in charge. He's just the TV guy, looks good on camera, gets people riled up, but there's actually someone else who runs the military. And that guy is billionaire Steve Feinberg, the Deputy Secretary of Defense. He is the Pentagon's chief operating officer overseeing the day-to-day operations of the agency. He's also the co-founder of Cerberus Capital, which is a defense-focused private equity firm. And guess what he's doing now? Yep, private equity is getting ready to take over the funding of the U.S. Army. Okay, this is reporting from Semaphore, quote, the U.S. Army has turned to private equity to fund an infrastructure overhaul. Two top White House officials met with Wall Street investors last week, part of a Trump administration effort to enlist the $13 trillion private capital industry into public financing. This is not good because, different than public funding, the only thing that these guys care about is returning money to shareholders. In fact, they have a fiduciary duty to maximize returns. In fact, many people don't know this, but private equity funds are contractually obligated to liquidate within a certain time horizon. And so that means at the end of their investment cycle, they must return money back to the shareholders no matter what. So in this case, their investment is weapons. So the only possible outcome in which their assets go up is, of course, more war.
Of course, you probably already knew all that, but let's get right back to there. Carry the two. Where we at here? There we go. Yeah, we'll put you. We'll go up there. Should I go to the bottom? Yeah, let's go to the bottom left. Let's change it up a bit. Jared Kushner, Peter Thiel, and Larry Ellison are planning to turn Gaza into a haven for billionaires with a, quote, a city of tax-free startups with scattered server farms for cloud processing and AI, and factories with cheap labor and simple regulations. Ellison is ready to put $350 million into this plan per Israel's Channel 12 and largest and most watched TV show. Oh, you remember that guy right there? Oh, yeah, that's this guy. That's him. He's coming to the White House to talk about their little future new Dubai. If you want to translate it, here's the link for it. You can translate that a little bit. But it looks up here. It says Kushner and Peter Thiel are also in. Gaza could become a tax haven that would bring about the normalization agreement with Saudi Arabia. The huge economic project of rebuilding Gaza after the war has already attracted interest from countries, billionaires, and former leaders. From Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who aspires to establish AI centers in the Strip, to foreign investors looking to enabling regulation. Experts predict the development initiatives could serve as leverage to promote normalization with Saudi Arabia, although also through Kushner's involvement, but the road there is still fraught with political and security obstacles. And again, everything we say and do is talked about in the show notes underneath. Check out the link. Takes you right to it. Mark and the Funky Bunch. Good evening, my man. How you doing, bud? Here is Jared Kushner. No reconstruction funds will go to Hamas-controlled areas. Hamas has to disarm or it will be obliterated, says J.D. Vance, who, again, these guys are already talking about ethnic cleansing and killing anybody that stands in their way. Update on Charlie Kirk. This is interesting, and I'm not sure what to make of it. Over the weekend, it was discovered that Judge Tony Graff, Governor Spencer Cox appointee, issued a gag order restricting attorneys, law enforcement, and the 3,000 plus attendees. I understand attorneys, law enforcement, and maybe key witnesses, but 3,000 attendees? The order bans extrajudicial statements that have a substantial likelihood of materially prejudicing the trial, per Utah Rule of Professional Conduct 3.6a. This includes any public comments, whether to the media, on social media, or in other public forums, that could influence potential jurors or compromise a fair trial. What juror? They have to go to Timbuktu to find out somebody that has no clue about what's going on here. For the 3,000 event witnesses, attendees, this means they cannot discuss case-specific details like what they saw, heard, or know about the assassination of Kirk. Here's the prompt. There is no documented U.S. case that has applied a gag order to this magnitude, with no direct role in the investigation or litigation. Previous gag orders typically target attorneys, court staff, or select witnesses, key figures like victims or experts, rarely exceeding dozens of individuals. So what is this really about? 3,000. I'll leave play this. Let me go ahead and it's only a minute 20 seconds long. We can suffer through that, right? Here we go.
There is a substantial amount of discovery in this case, Your Honor. It's voluminous, to say the least.
His lawyers entered their formal appearance and declined to waive his right to a preliminary hearing. Judge Tony Graff has issued a gag order preventing anyone associated with the case from talking about it. It's to avoid pretrial publicity, already a big problem in a case with massive media exposure involving a high-profile figure like Charlie Kirk. But the judge wants to ensure a fairer trial for Robinson. It's also brought up a big issue involving thousands of people.
We're seeking some clarification with respect to the phrase all witnesses, Your Honor. There are a number of witnesses that have yet to be identified that will likely be used in the state's case. This occurred in front of 2,000 to 3,000 students at Utah Valley University. So we're in the process of identifying those witnesses. And so those...
That's another part of it. I mean, no one has brought these guys out in over a month now. No one has a clue.
Individuals are presently unknown right now.
The court will rule that as the witnesses become known to each side, that information is conveyed to abide by this order. Obviously, there are potentially many witnesses, and so it's not the expectation that you would be able to do that up front, but as they become known.
The judge made it clear he wants to ensure Robinson's constitutional rights will be protected, as well as the rights of the victim.
Counsel.
See, that starts pretty soon, I think. I don't know exact day on it, but back to here, over here. Mom, it's a Breitbart article. Chicago area judge rules ICE agents can be arrested at courthouses. Chicago area judge has ruled that the ICE officers can be arrested at Cook County courthouses if they violate his orders and arrest a migrant without a warrant. U.S. District Judge Jeffrey Cummings ordered that ICE officers are barred from arresting migrants at courthouses if they don't have a warrant. He also ordered that federal law enforcement can be arrested if they violate his orders. The judge's order aimed to prevent what is called collateral arrest of people whom ICE officers discover are illegal on the spot. These are migrants that ICE agents come across by happenstance while looking for someone they have a warrant to apprehend. Here's another one. Trump refugee plan seeks 7,000 Afrikaners and virtually no one else. The Trump administration plan to overhaul the U.S. refugee resettlement process, including a drastic reduction in overall annual admissions, coincides with a concerted effort to prepare thousands of white South Africans to relocate to the United States through the system, according to documents reviewed by the Washington Compost and people familiar with the matter. If the administration succeeds, also almost all people admitted to these United States as refugees, as many as 7,000 from a maximum potential pool of 7,500, could be Afrikaners, a group not traditionally eligible for the program, but one that once a future king, President DJT, says has been tyrannized by South Africa's black majority. The remainder may be chosen because of their ability to speak English or their views on free speech, people familiar with the matter said. Marines investigating errant live fire blast over California's I-5. Hey, how do you like that photo? It looks like they just stormed the beach of San Francisco. Drones, helicopters. Tell me that's AI, because that looks terrifying. That's what we're jacked about here. The Marine Corps has begun an investigation on how an artillery shell exploded over Interstate 5 in California, raining down pieces of shrapnel as Vice President J.D. Vance and other top U.S. officials observed a military demonstration that was conducted by Tony Stark, apparently, and supercharging a spat between the Trump administration and the state's Democratic governor. A shell with one of 6 launched Saturday from an M777 Howitzer on the beach of Camp Pendleton, a major military installation bisected by the interstate, 2 defense officials said, speaking on the condition of anonymity because of the issue's sensitivity. Yeah, we just shot a howitzer over the interstate. The most likely cause for the detonation was a fuse failure, something Marine Corps leaders saw as a 1 in a million possibility before it occurred. Somebody go get the lottery after that, then, the official said. No one was injured, thanks be to God, which occurred during a celebration marking the Marine Corps 250th anniversary. The event also included beach landings by amphibious vehicles, helicopter flights, and in the Navy, warships at sea. In addition to the vice president, it was attended by the Defense of War Secretary Pete Hegseth, Navy Secretary John Finland, and General Eric Smith, the commander of the Marine Corps. Be quiet. We're turning this car right around. We're turning this car right around. U.S. Army turns to private equity for infrastructure funding. That's what we just talked about with James Lee just a little bit ago. If you want to read it on your own, go ahead. Here it is. A little bit more. Here's from Fox News. Breakthrough blood tests could spot dozens of cancers before symptoms appear. A majority of detected cancers lack current recommended screening options, research finds. And I always trust the research on all these people anyways. A study analyzed about 23,161 participants 50 years or older who did not have any symptoms. How come they never talk about like the Highwire's latest video, The Inconvenience Study? That's not making Fox. CNN's future at stake as owner Warren Brothers Discovery seeks sale. And bet 2 milkshakes to your hot dog that I would be shocked if you see Larry Ellison buying this up. I don't know if he's even, are they bringing up as a potential buyer? No. Atlas shrugged. Used to like that book. OpenAI launches ChatGPT powered web browser to automate your life from restaurant reservations to filling out paperwork. The browser is launching today worldwide, but with some operating system exclusivity. The browser effectively promises to automate your life with the functionality to fill out forms, making dinner reservations. We already talked about that, and even chat with a web page at the touch of a button. Again, we just remember how many people didn't know how to live yesterday when the cyber attack. Argentina beef. Trump's new plan sparks fury after bailout. Once a future king, President DJT's new plan to purchase additional beef from Argentina to lower prices for consumers in these United States has sparked backlash from critics and alarm from some American producers, as the administration already faces questions and criticism for its recent $20 billion bailout of the South American nation. Meriwether Farms, a beef producer based in Wyoming that said it supports and loves Trump, described the plan as an absolute betrayal to the American cattle rancher. You think? In the next post Monday. The continued manipulation and betrayal of the very people who claim to support them, cattle ranchers, needs to end immediately, the producer said. Newsweek reached out to the White House for comment. Barely nothing happened. Trump said Sunday the administration would import beef from don't cry from me, Argentina, to help tackle persistent high prices as the supply is throttled by drought, a flesh-eating pest, and other issues affecting cattle. We would buy some beef from Argentina, Trump told reporters aboard Air Force One. Please don't fight in the kitchen. I was thinking of the Nelly song, or what was it? It wasn't Nelly. It was Nelly with a bunch of other guys. Anyway, sorry. As he traveled from Florida to Washington, D.C., if we do that, that will bring our beef prices down. Really, the price of beef alongside other everyday essentials has soared this year, likely because screwworm outbreaks have weakened already diminished cattle herds. Yeah, let's blame the worm. Poor worm, he got nobody defending him. Colombia's president muses about getting rid of Trump in menacing interview as drug feud intensifies. Colombia President Gustavo Petro mused about getting rid of once a future king President DJT in a shocking interview as a bitter feud over the U.S. crackdown on drug trafficking in Latin America intensifies. Over the weekend, Trump threatened to close up the killing fields in Colombia and announced he was slashing U.S. subsidies for the South American country after Petro accused the U.S. of murder over the September 15th attack against an alleged drug boat. Humanity has a first off-ramp. It is to choose to change Trump in various ways, Petro told Univision's Daniel Carano per a translation when asked about his goal of getting the best possible negotiation for his country. The easiest way may be through Trump himself, Petro added, if not, get rid of him. He continued, snapping his fingers dramatically. After the interview, the Colombian leader publicly refuted concerns that he was threatening Trump. It wasn't a threat. He was saying if he doesn't get rid of him. I did not threaten Trump. I only said that Trump should change his heart from defending death policies in the world like a genocide in Palestine, to life policies. Petro shot back on X from a translation. If there is no such change, then the American people themselves will change Trump because one cannot go towards general suicide. Yeah. Good on him for having a spine. Japan elects first female leader, a hawk, who promotes Japan first. Tokyo, Miss Sanya, a firebrand nationalist and security hawk, was chosen as Prime Minister of Japan on Tuesday, becoming the nation's first female head of government during an unusually rocky time in Japanese politics. Takashi Tamako Camacho knocks himself out cold for the fourth time this week. Sorry, Major League reference. Major League 2 to be more precise. Succeeds Ishiba, who said last month that he would step down after bruising electoral losses that cost the long-running Liberal Democrat Party its coalition majority in both parliamentary chambers. Well, there goes Japan. I have zero clue about who this person is. Apparently, I mean, again, you all know I'm not a nationalist, so when they say Japan first, I mean Japan first, that's good. I mean, I would rather have a North Carolina or South Carolina first, a Georgia first governor, stuff like that. Florida first governor. Forget the big bloated stuff. Japan is what big as not New Hampshire, New Jersey, maybe a little bit bigger. So technically, I mean, the size of it, I have no idea what what their population is, but I mean, she wants to be Japan first. That's as people in Japan would say, or here, we'll see. The thing is, people get upset about women doing it. Mine's the point of, all right, if the women aren't going to do it, where's the man? And where is there a Japanese man that was going to do it any better? Because I mean, like I said, there's a woman out here that's saying everything that I've been saying. I'll say too. Why didn't I get in there? But I would like to run in a town or a city or mayor or whatever, but I only have a lease for a year. So how can I run for something in an office where I'm at when I could be living somewhere else on a nomad type deal in a year and still be living somewhere else, being a mayor of another town? Couldn't do that. And me being a representative in a place, not living there, that wouldn't be ethical. So yeah, it's really eating me that I can't do a lot of things what I keep saying to do. But so in that case, in Japan, where's the Japanese men that want to do it? Yeah, same thing here. You see, what if people are upset about women doing it? Guys got to step up. Prince Andrew's Royal Lodge lifeline collapses. Business deal intended to secure his future at the Windsor property is dead in the water. San Francisco gate. Wild bear breaks into California zoo is found communing with the captive bear. So a bear that lives free decided to go into the cage to hang out with them. Hey, boys, what's you doing? Before opening today, staff at Sequoia Park Zoo in Eureka were conducting a routine inspection of the Redwood Skywalk, a self-guided tour of local redwood history and ecology, when they were surprised by a unique visitor. On the trail was a wild American black bear leaning on a gate to peer in at the 3 black bears in their habitat within the park, according to the zoo's Facebook post. See. Oh, yeah, this New York Times. Amazon plans to replace more than 500,000 jobs with robots. Internal documents show the company that changed how people shop has a far-reaching plan to automate 75% of its operations. And this should not be shocking to anybody that's been paying half of attention. Remember, they're trying to take over they're already taking over they're trying to, if they can close out Walgreens and CVS and stuff like that, they'll have the pharmaceutical thing in their clutch. They're working on groceries right now. What else doing? They already got the shipping, gifts and all that. Who doesn't buy something from Amazon? It's free to ship and all that. You don't even you go to the store anymore. Eventually that'll be grocery store. What else? They're going to get their tentacles and everything. Want the lower anxiety? Put your phone away. The longer we can take breaks, the better our brains will be, experts say. Probably not just that. It's also the light that emanates from the cell phone itself, the blue light. Most people are on there looking for doom scrolling, as they call it. I don't know about you guys. Like on Sundays, like I said before, I don't even touch the darn thing. And I don't, you go to mass, come back, playing with the kids. They take a nap, relax. Because I don't usually get to relax during the week, any day in the weekdays. Actually go to bed at a good time, all that jazz. Yeah, have fun with everyone. Go to a park, especially if it's nice. And I go up on Monday morning and check out all the junk mail to get rid of. It's like hundreds. Like, oh man, it takes me 15 minutes to get through the junk mails. But it's awesome. You don't think about it. Nothing. Don't have any anxiety anyways, but still, I bet if anybody else have anxiety, you step away, go outside, get a garden together, start doing stuff like that. That'll change your mindset on things. And in sports, the World Series is now finalized. You have the LA Dodgers, everyone's favorite team. I'm being sarcastic, but just figuring somebody would get triggered by that, versus the Toronto Blue Jays. And probably not too many people will be watching it. Yeah, I would say Blue Jays in 6 is my bet, but that's just me. This day in history, 1520, Magellan. Nice route, Magellan. Yeah, I'm sure everyone's told somebody that. Nice route, Magellan. Magellan in sports, it's always said, nice route, Magellan. Magellan's the discovery of gateway to circumnavigating the globe happened on this day. 2018, American actress Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who starred in Criminals with the highest award coming. What did she do? Was officially awarded the Kennedy Center's Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. 2012, American politician and liberal activist George McGovern died at age 90. 1966, a landslide of mining waste destroyed the school in Welsh village of Aberfan, killing 144. 1964, the American musical film My Fair Lady, starring Rex Harrison and Audrey Hepburn, had its world premiere. 1960, JFK and Richard Nixon debated for the 4th and final time. 1959, the Guggenheim Museum, designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, opened in New York City. New York City. Yeah, New York City. 1940, American novelist Ernest Hemingway published his classic novel, For Whom the Bell Tolls, Time Marches On. I'm sorry, I got carried away. 1907, Franz Lehir's operetta, The Merry Widow, opened in New York City. New York City. Yeah, again, New York City. Get some paste piccati sauce. 1833, Swedish chemist, engineer, and industrialist Alfred Nobel, who invented dynamite and other more powerful explosives, and who also founded Nobel Prizes, was born in Stockholm. So the guy who's named after us invented dynamite and other explosives. No wonder they give it to people that kill people. 1805, a fleet of 33 ships, 18 French and 15 Spanish, under Admiral Pierre Charles Jean Baptiste Silvestre de Villeneuve, who also flunked kindergarten because of his name, fought and was defeated by a British fleet of 27 ships under Admiral Horatio Nelson in the Battle of Trafalgar. Combat was waged west of Cape Trafalgar, Spain. 1797, the Constitution, one of the first frigates built for the U.S. Navy and the Navy, was launched in Boston. It became known as Old Ironsides after it carried U.S. sailors to victory over the British in a naval battle during the War of 1812. And if anybody knows when the War of 1812 was, go ahead and type that in the chat. It's a trivia question for today. Anyways, I know. That's just a dumb joke. Someone liked the bad jokes. A mushroom walks into a bar. The bartender kicks him out. The mushroom goes, "What? I'm a fun guy." Anyway, have a great rest of the night. Like, subscribe, comment underneath. See you tomorrow. Check out sensusfidelium.tv for the app. What else do I have for you? Oh, yeah. If you want to get a Catholic cell phone company, iCatholicmobile.com. Check out Jason with the Martyrs Walk. If you want a Catholic boot camp or kick yourself into gear a little bit, check that one out. What else? Real Estate for Life. Am I forgetting anybody? The wine guys, Old Northwoods Wine. If you want some wine, check their stuff out. Trust me, it's really good. And you give whatever wine you get, it helps out, like the Benedictine nuns. Who else? St. John Cancius. Benedictine has already said that. Ripperger's group's going to be on there, I think, at the beginning of the year, and they're adding more all the time. So anyways, have a great rest of the night. Talk to you later. And, oh, yeah, where's the thank you button? Forgot that. Thank you.